Hello, Terry here, and today we're going to play Mother. So, this is a visual novel inspired by Hans Christian Andersen, or whoever that is, the one that write Mermaid or something like that. Some famous writer, I don't know, probably have some controversy with him, but we'll just see. Either way, this is Mother, Hans Christian Andersen inspired visual novel, and it's a horror visual novel. Apparently. Because I don't exactly know what the genre is, I should probably read it first, but yeah, let's ignore that. Either way, this got the most voted on Twitter for the game I should play next, that's why I decided to check it out. And even if it doesn't get voted the most, it's still on my list, so I definitely have to check it out later or sooner. Either way, let's play the game, shall we? It looks rather simplistic, very nice. Start. Oh, that's a cute logo. Bronek Games. 10/10 bonus score, 100%. Oh, I love it. A classic opening. Yep, like Mysterious Town, like those classic horror movie you see back then. I like it already. Yep, as I said, based on Hans Christian Andersen. Oh. I met Benjamin on my first summer in the countryside. He looked quite gallant even then, dressed in his little sailor suit, ready to conquer the world. I, ever the wallflower, could only peek at his tanned face from behind my mother's skirt. We smiled when our gaze crossed, both realizing from that very moment our destinies were intertwined. Our marriage took place in the spring of my 17th birthday. Very interesting. Which one are you? I guess this one. I still remember it vividly. Never in my life have I known such happiness. And though I was but a young girl, my thoughts were taken by anticipation. I long for the moment when the haze of youth will give way to the stability of a family. Yeah, I doubt that one. Our children were brown. Sorry, because I read it as grow strong and born. It becomes brown. Brown. That's wrong. Born and grow strong, beautiful, kind. What is wrong with your daughter, ma'am? Is your daughter okay? I watched over them, heart swelling with pride. In my innocence, I believed the Lord had blessed me with much more than I could have ever wished for. If only I knew how little it would last. No one could have predicted that winter. All over the land crops failed, people starved, and a dark disease spread. Dark disease. The plague corrupted the lungs and left orphans and widows in its wake. We were not immune to its deviousness. First, oh no. I love that. I love how they use the picture as a way to depict the family member starts dying one by one, which is horrible. First, the consumption took Mayana. My playful, mischievous girl was never to play pranks on her brother again. Well, good, kinda good, because Anna looks very evil here. Just kidding, in case you're wondering. Then it was Isaac. I watched restless as my once clever young man was twisted into a shadow of himself. Well, at least Anna can play prank on him again in the afterlife. The weaver had taken his sanity long before he was gone completely. Oh no. And when Benjamin fell ill, I thought there could be no worse punishment. My heart was dying with him. But as I laid my beloved to rest in his early grave, surrounded by two of our dear children, I witnessed my youngest son, little Daniel, cough. Little Daniel? I didn't see little Daniel in the picture. Wait, could I have missed something? Oh, I cannot go back. That's interesting. The sound washed over me as a terrible omen. I could not bear to think of his destiny. I would not survive burying him as well. So day and night I prayed to the Lord. I begged him to take me instead, to let my boy live. Given the most strange circumstances that followed, I still wonder whether it was him who answered. I don't know. I was just going to say, are you sure that's the Lord that answers? Ah, he's burning up. Where's that footman? I have sent for the doctor hours ago. It's almost midnight. Daniel's small body rests in the drawing room, nestled in a makeshift bed among used bowls and an ever-boiling kettle. The doctor convinced me it will be easier to care for him this way, less stairs for me to climb on my own. Indeed. Our financial situation is suffering. With only Benjamin's meager pension, I had to let most of our servants go. The house feels strange these days. Too grand, too silent, with just Daniel and me as its inhabitants. What was once my home has become an eerie mausoleum, especially when the sun goes down. Maybe it's the lack of sleep. It has been 3 days now, but there are shadows that linger much too long in the mirrors, in the hallways, in my mind. Shadows. Ah, someone's here, the doctor. I get to the foyer in a rush, thankfully that help is near. Thankful. Good evening, miss. I beg your pardon, but the night is dark and my journey is long. May I enter? Oh, gentlemen. Interesting. The sight of this stranger is a surprise, and though I wasn't expecting a caller at such hour, there's a terrible snowstorm raging outside. I cannot in good conscience deny him shelter, not with the sickness still running through our village. Please do come in. I am much obliged. Not many would open when I knocked. I cannot offer much, but there's some leftover bread and butter from dinner, and I could brew you some tea. Just the tea is fine. My unexpected visitors wander about, I stopping upon Daniel's sleeping place. My youngest, he is unwell. I see. You have been carrying this burden for a long time, have you not? It is not much of a question, and I know how it might look for an outsider. The house is in disrepair, my face pale as a ghost, and who knows when last I have changed out of these garments. Having another soul in this house reminds me of a world that still exists beyond these walls. I feel exhausted as I pass the stranger his cup and sit by my son's side. Yes, but it will be worth it. For Daniel, for my boy, I do anything, whatever it takes. My visitor seems pensive as he sips his tea. I see him raise his hand and gently brush Daniel's hair, humming a familiar song. Where have I heard it before? Oh, you're crying. Surely. Why is my voice breaking so? Surely the good Lord would not take him from me. He nods in such a strange way. Was that a yes or a no? I felt a warmth on my cheeks and only then realized I'm crying. It's been so long, I am so tired. Maybe I could rest my eyes for a moment. Only a second. There is someone here, I can sleep for a bit. I cannot trust my child with a stranger. This is the logical thing to do. I don't know, man. No, I could not possibly trust this stranger, however kind he might seem. But his voice gently humming that song makes my eyelids heavy. Before I can stop myself, I feel my conscience slip and fall into the darkness. The clock has stopped, broken at the moment it struck midnight. I wake up startled and alone. Neither Daniel nor my strange visitor are anywhere to be found. Oh no. Heart racing, I run outside. Oh, hello. The storm has subsided, but the cold still cuts through my frock like a sharp knife. I think we need to talk about this person first. As I approach the gate, I am greeted with an unusual sight. A foreign looking woman loiters about, her gaze sad, her garments dark. I wonder what business may have brought her to our sleepy village. Though there is no time for pleasantries, I must find my son. Sorry. Pray tell, madam, have you seen an old man and a little boy pass your way? Pass. You poor thing. Death has been at your door. Yes, I have seen them, but it is no use. That man never returned that which he has taken away. Go home and rest. They are far beyond your reach. No, please, you have to help me. That boy is all I have left. Ah, he died. Very well, if you will not be dissuaded, I'll name my price. Price? My name is Knight, and many a time have I sat by your windows, as you lulled your child to sleep. You cried when you sang them, thinking no one could hear, but I could. I too love your songs. I want your tears. Sing them to me and I shall tell you what I know. Sing the lullabies? Waste of time? Why not? It will be worth it. For Daniel, for my boy, I do anything, whatever it takes.
Go tell and Rhodey, go tell and Rhodey, go tell and Rhodey, the old grey goose is dead. The one she was saving, the one she was saving, the one she was saving to make her feather bed. She died on the mill pond, she died on the mill pond, she died on the mill pond from standing on her head. Now she's in the woodshed, now she's in the woodshed, now she's in the woodshed. The doctor says she's dead. The old gander's mourning, the old gander's mourning, the old gander's mourning, because his mate is dead. The goslings are weeping, the goslings are weeping, the goslings are weeping, because their mother's dead. Bye, little baby, bye, little baby, bye, little baby, bye, little baby, bye.
It certainly is a song that would make you remember of a mother. I sing, and with each word my voice cracks a bit more. My throat burns from the effort, my cheeks wet with tears. I continue. Despite the pain, I remember my boy's face. It's a small sacrifice if it means I would hold Daniel close to me again. You have done well, they have moved into the woods. Follow the stars and you will sure to find them, but make haste, their light will soon fade. I thank you for your kindness. Is that my voice? I can barely recognize it. It matters not. The star brightened a clear path into the woods. I must follow, I must find Danielle. Accompanied by only the dreadful cold, I still my heart and make haste to the forest. The woods are much darker than I anticipated. The canopy of trees so thick no light comes down from the sky, and as such my little star too seems lost in the darkness. Ahead of me, the path breaks into a crossroad, but there's no clear way to follow. Interesting. No footsteps are left in the snow but my own, and ahead I can see nothing but a sad hawthorn bush. Not a leaf is left in its branches, only thorns and icicles hang from its dead twigs. As I turn myself away searching for a sign, I hear the wind whispering its haunting message only the animals and trees understand. Oh, and in front of my very eyes I see the hawthorn shift into the form of a little child, eyes glistening in the shadow of the forest. I've heard of such spirits. Those who died young and found themselves trapped between this world and the next would often be embraced by the woods. Perhaps it can be obeyed, though if the tales are to believe, it would be wise not to anger it. Hello, little creature. Have you by any chance seen an old man pass by carrying a little boy in his arms? Yes, I have. Its voice is enough to curdle the blood in my veins. Oh, it's spooky, isn't it? And would you not tell me which way they went? You see, this boy is my son, and I want nothing but to have him in my arms again. What is it in... Oh, sorry? What is in it for me, missus? Well, what may I offer you? For a second the hawthorn looks sadly upon my face and stretches its little twisted arms. I will help, but first you must hug me tightly. Just as tight you would your little boy. Warm me up in your arms and I will show you the way. Oh no. One look at its thorn is enough to know this will be very painful. But what choice do I have? I can show love to this wretched thing. It will be worth it. For Daniel, for my boy. I do anything, whatever it takes. As I hold the hawthorn dearly, its thorns perforate my flesh, sinking deep into my chest, neck, arms, and belly. Oh, the drops of blood flow from me to its dead branches, renewing with life the nearly rotten wood, and giving way to beautiful red flowers as if it were the height of spring. Oh no. Even its wild eyes are softer as the hawthorn stares meekly to my face. I can stop myself from smiling, even if the pain is lacerating. Having not my own child to hold, I find a bit of solace in lending my warmth to this small, pitiful creature. If you seek an old man, he passes always in a rush to the lake. Just follow your ride, but don't stray from the path. I hope you find your baby. Thank you. Be in peace. My clothes are in tatters and the pain is overwhelming, but I must make haste. The lake sits on a clearing so immense it could be mistaken for the ocean. Surrounding it, great mountains covered by a thick layer of snow are a witness to my journey. Despite the cold, the lake is not yet frozen and there are no boats to be seen on the shore. All fishermen have long abandoned their endeavors. I must cross it. I have to. But before I can take the first step into the murky waters, I see my reflection, wounded and ragged as it is, changing below the surface. Hello, a face appears, neither male nor female, but disheveled and tauntingly wicked. You will never succeed. Nothing from the land might cross me without paying a price. I am terribly sorry to disturb you, but I must try. You see, my son is on the other side, and I must get to him. Very well, I might be persuaded to open myself to you. I am rather fond of collecting pretty things that people let sink into my death, especially pearls. But I am yet to see some as magnificent as your eyes. Oh no. My eyes. Yes, give them to me and I will grant your wish. I have no choice. Does it? It will be worth it for Daniel, for my boy. I do anything, whatever it takes. In two swift motions, I claw out both of my eyes. You yourself? The pain is overwhelming, the world becomes pure darkness. Without knowing where to go, I feel the water gently part under my feet, and vacillant, I feel my way onto the shore. Lost as I am, my heart remains resolute. I must find Daniel. And so I walk, whether in a cave, a path, or a road I know not, it matters not. What? Chapter 3 at Death's Door. I don't remember passing chapter 2 or chapter 1. And whose in the heavens' name would you be? Blind, pain, and tired, I stumble towards the sound. I know not who the voice belongs to, but I can feel it must be that of an old dame. Perhaps she can aid me. I am a mother searching in the dark for the one who took her little boy. Would you not know of such a man? Would you not have mercy on a poor wretch like me? If you search who I think you do, you are a fool to have come this far, child. By the Lord, you know him. I beg of you, please take me to him. The one you seek is death, and he is yet to return. Go home and find peace, for no mortal in this place may enter, and no mortal from here returns. Please, I do not have much left to give, but whatever you wish for is yours for the taking. You do have very pretty hair, do you not? So strong and shiny. You can take my white old one in its place. If you agree, I can also tell you a secret. It may help you find your little boy. It is yours. As the old woman takes my braid into her hands, I feel the last strength of my youth abandon me. My bones become brittle and heavy. My skin sags. All of it I feel and accept. I have sacrificed so much more than my vanity for my son. That you have. But then again, so do all mothers. My companion held my arms to sustain me, guiding me, her voice much more cheerful and lively than just minutes before. I am Death's servant, some call me Morse. You are at the doors of Death's greenhouse. Here he brings the soul of the passing and of the unborn. Here he tends to each one until they are moved according to heaven's will. Every soul here is guarded in its original form, either as a tree, a vine, or flower of life. They all await their destiny, and if you pay attention, you may hear their heartbeats echoing. Perhaps you may yet recognize that of your son. As we stroll arm length through the gardens, I am overtaken by its marvelous scent. I can smell hyacinths, glass bells, lavenders, and roses, the freshness of water lilies, the sickly sweetness of honeysuckle. Their heartbeats form a strange symphony, but I am yet to find the one belonging to my little Daniel. Until, out of a million or more, I hear it. His fragile little heart is here, oscillating but still beating out of what I believe to be a little crocus flower. Anxious to rescue him, I reach to pluck the stem. Do not touch it, or he will be gone forever. Place yourself in front of it instead. When death comes, and he always does, threaten to destroy every plant you can reach. He will be frightened, having to account for all of them. None can be taken without heaven's permission. And as if summoned, a cold wind blew into the greenhouse. Powerful and final, death itself entered the hall. Who are you? How have you found your way hither, mortal? How have you reached this place before your time? I am a mother and I wish to have my child back. As to how I have come to be here, the good Lord has been by my side tonight, and he will see to it that my journey is worthwhile. One question, didn't Death already meet you, so Death supposed to know who you are, right? The good Lord, nothing I do is without his command. It is by his design that I take life to the unknown land, or to flourish on earth. All is as he decides. Give me back my Daniel. Give him back, or I swear I will tear off every single flower here until the last one is destroyed. I will stop at nothing. I will have my boy back. Trembling, I grab at the nearest vine I can feel near my hands. You dare? Do not touch them. How can you decide who is to suffer? How could you impose such a suffering on thousands of other mothers? Other mothers? The thought is enough to give me pause, and I feel death take my hand. I shall restore your eyes. There is something you must understand before we settle this dispute. Blinking wildly, I can see again, and the vision is overwhelming. Death Garden is breathtaking. I can feel myself shivering under its terrible beauty. Oh, you look older, aren't you? I don't know what else. And Death, why are you look so photoshopped? I don't know how to say it. My opponent's face, however, is not as aged as I remember, nor as fierce as I imagine. Instead, he seems like a young gentleman, saddened, though resolute. Come stand by this well. I do as I am told. In its reflection you will see the fate of two lives. One's your son, the other the very one you came so close to destroying. I cannot say which belong to whom, just know that what you see is their true destiny. So is the will of the Lord. Bending over the stone of the well, I look into its murky water as two narratives take place. First, the story of a beautiful life. A little boy that grew up to be a blessing, each step in his long life, enriched the ones around him. Wherever he went, whatever he did, he brought forth joy. His soul was a flower of light that shone bright in a world so often bleak. The second story was a terrible tale. I could barely watch as this boy created nothing but misery and pain. It was a tale of horror and violence, of twisted perversions and gruesome dealings, a flower of misfortune and destruction. Screaming, I pulled myself away from the well. Which one is Daniel? Which one is he? That I may not say, for I do not know myself. You have come this far, and I will grant you a favor. Just this one, I will let you decide. Shall I give back your son to you and take the other soul away to the eternal garden? Will you risk knowing it may be him to bring such terrible disgrace upon the world? What is your choice? Let Daniel die, let Daniel live. I cannot decide. Well, I've come this far. It will be worth it. For Daniel, for my boy, I do anything, whatever it takes. After all I've been through, I cannot back down now. Daniel is so close I can feel his heart beating in harmony with my own. I will defy death itself. I will walk through hellfire if it means holding my son to me once more. And in many ways I felt that I already have. So be it. But be aware, woman, you have crossed beyond the realm of the mortals. Once granted, this wish cannot be revoked. You have sealed your own fate. May the Lord have mercy on you. Overwhelmed and ecstatic, I hear Daniel's heartbeat stronger than ever. Finally succumbing to the exhaustion of my adventure, I crumble. I am woken by the loud banging at the door, now kept barricaded. Night has fallen, and with it my torments begin anew. I can see myself in the mirror, aged and a mere shadow of my former self. Outside, Daniel, or whatever it is that takes his form, roams hungry through the halls, looking for a way to escape my traps. Every night I try to contain him, every night I fail. When morning comes, there will be bodies, a carnage of limbs, beyond recognition to the buried in the garden. The village will not dare to speak of it when I come down to the market, too frightened to do more than curse me under their breath. Well, they should do much worse. I would were I in their place. Whatever I have brought back with me from Death Hall was not human any longer. It is a twisted thing, a monster. Was I the monster? Have I made a mistake? I cannot say that I have. I still love him, he is still my flesh and blood, and it was worth it. For Daniel, for my boy, I do it all again, whatever it takes. Oh. Well, but Daniel turns out to be a monster, I don't know what he is. This work is licensed under Creative Commons. Interesting. Many thanks to playtester. Don't skip it! Well, that's fine. And UX by Brown X Game, Narrative and UX. Alright. I'm kinda curious about the other roads left, so I'm just gonna do a quick check. How about we let Daniel die? Take him to the Lord's kingdom. Let my child be free from misery, forget all I have done. It is for nothing if he is to suffer so. Is that your choice? Yes, I cannot bear to think of such cruelty tarnishing his soul. Better he lives in my memories and my heart. Unable to stand any longer, I see death smile kindly upon me and take my face in his cold hands. The world become dark again around me. I wake up suddenly when the clock strikes midnight, surrounded by the bowls, the kettle, the couches, and the dying warmth of my own drawing room. The fireplace has extinguished itself, and I know before I rise from my chair that so has Daniel's life. Oh. Later today I will accompany the mortician as he prepares my little boy to his eternal rest. I will follow the sexton and the priest standing alone over Daniel's grave long after they are gone. I will be thinking about how he was so senselessly taken from me, trying to find meaning in it all, struggling in vain to understand that which cannot be ever explained. Yet I know one day we shall be reunited. One day I shall see my family again. Until then, I will love, I will suffer. I will be taken aback by when vivid memories of our time together resurface uninvited. Such is the fate of those who were left behind. But more importantly, I will be glad I have once known the blessing and pains of being a mother. Oh, okay, then the final choice. I cannot decide. I cannot choose, I cannot sacrifice my child even if it means his redemption. Yet I cannot allow myself to find another mother as I suffer now. Release them both. Let them forge their way into the world, whatever that road may be. Take my soul instead. If one must be taken into the Lord's kingdom, it should be me. If that is truly what you desire, it shall be so. Gently death placed his cold lips on mine, sealing my choice with a kiss. What? A wave of peace invades me. The tangle of decision, the horrible pain of longing for those beyond my reach, the unwavering certainty that I must continue my journey slowly dissolves. First, they became a distant memory. I forget their face, their voice, their names. Then it becomes hard to remember myself. Why was I here? What is this place? When have I arrived? Where will I go? The questions themselves meaningless. I just am. Suddenly a persistent spark. I am a mud. No, I am nothing. And I am everything. It matters not. I am in peace. Ah, okay. Well, that's very interesting, very poetic. I really love all the three endings available in this game. So I would much prefer if this is a kinetic visual novel instead, because the story is pretty straightforward. Yeah, just saying. And also, how to say it? Yeah, because the developer one criticism constructive. What the what the freak am I talking about? There's one thing that I must criticize, and that is, let's see. Now I cannot roll back from here, but there's that scene where the boy, soul, and flower was shown. But the problem is the dialogue box kind of cover that scene, so I cannot see exactly how the flower looks and all. I can definitely use H button to hide the UI, what do you call it? Choice or stuff like that, dialog box, so I can see it clearer, but that will defeat the, how to say it, the ergonomic purpose? I suppose. I don't really know how to say it. Better to resign the dialog box to a smaller one or make the scenes more smaller, you can say, so it only fits half of the screen. Yeah, I'm not really good at explaining. Just make it easier to be seen. So I guess that's all for Mother. It is very interesting. See you later then in my next video. Bye bye.